Hi guys, I'm going to be demonstrating how to grout. The grout I'm using today is white, and it is, I believe it's from Home Depot, but anyway, it's sanded grout. And I'm going to add water to the grout. When grouting, I use a lot of baking metaphors, and so for grout, when you add the water and stir it up the first time, you want it to be slightly runny, still more the consistency of peanut butter or brownie dough. And then we're going to let it sit for a few minutes and slake, and then when it finishes that, it will be the consistency of cookie dough. It's easier to spread that way, and especially when we're doing glass on glass grouting, then you don't get grout bleed as much if you have a little bit of a drier grout. Okay, so that's mixed. So see how that's kind of like peanut butter or brownie dough now. So we're going to let that sit for a few minutes. I'm getting ready to grout a birdhouse. I've glued all of the pieces onto the birdhouse now using silicone, and then I'm going to grout it. When grouting, I wear gloves, and I go ahead and tear paper towels, the little sheets into half, and we will use those for grouting. And then usually I have a trash bag right here, which I do not today, so I'll just throw it on this paper tablecloth and then get it afterwards. Once we clean all of the grout off with the paper towels, we're going to use a half white vinegar, half water mixture with Q-tips just to get the haze off of the glass. So I'll show you that when we get to that stage. So let me put my gloves on. I'm going to grout the top first. So I use a plastic knife just because it's disposable. So it's easy to spread the grout with, and then it's also easy to clean it up with and throw away once you're done. So I'm spreading the grout on. White grout, for some reason, doesn't have quite the same consistency as the other colors of grout. I don't know, it's always seems a little bit gummier than other colors. I don't use white a lot. A lot of the time I use a darker grout because white grout tends to splinter the pieces or fracture the pieces when you look at it. This particular birdhouse, though, is a red and white theme, and I just kind of like the white grout in between the pieces. So, and that's the way it looks on Etsy, and that's what she purchased, so that's what I'm doing. Okay, so the grout is spread all over that one. I may go back and see right here where there's a little, I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little place in between those tiles that wasn't completely filled with the grout, so I'm going to go back and do a little smushing in of the grout to make sure I've got it everywhere. In between all the pieces. That looks pretty good. So now I'm going to take the paper towel and I'm going to wipe it off. And you want to use a fairly aggressive, not so aggressive that you knock all your tiles off, but firm wipe to get the grout off. have a little almost like dental tool thing, and sometimes use that, especially like on this. I used a button here, and so I got to get the grout out of the button that I used as part of my decorative element. And of course, it's easier to get out now than it is once it's hardened into cement. You can still do it with the vinegar and water and Q-tips, but it's easier to get it out of someplace like that now than it is later. Okay, so can you see it? I don't know if you can tell from there, but there's still a good bit of haze on the glass. So in a little bit, I'm gonna, once this has a little time to set up and dry some, then I will use the vinegar and water on it. But for now, I'm gonna let it sit and let it dry and firm up. So I'm going to stop the video for now. I will do the same thing with the body of the birdhouse, but I don't think you need to see that because it's pretty much the same thing. So I'll start the video again when I get to the point of using the vinegar and water.